good evening, welcome, midday, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome into this bonus episode of the Unpacking podcast. And as you guys have noticed, there is a different intro screen to the podcast. This intro screen is not the final intro screen that will be used for season 1. This is a temporary one. It's like a little sneak peek. It's a little preview into what might have been cooking. I just thought we'd start with something a little comfy to get us into a comfy mood for today's episode. How are we all doing today? How are we doing today? The music was wrong? You didn't like the music? It's a little funky, a little plinky plonky. I thought it's kind of cozy. Let's go over here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to this mid-year episode. Good morning. Thank you so much, Jasper, for supporting for 9 months of support. Hello, streamer Jean Faymas. Glort Pack sitting comfortably around the fire with his friends. Thank you so much, Jasper, for 9 months of support on this stream as well. Thank you too. Sorry, I'm just nestling a coffee in my hands. Freedom Mantle for an incredible 19 months of support of what I do. Credits, of course, always to the incredible Freedom Mantle for once again, the entire room you see around me, this chat box here, that intro loading screen animation there, and a bunch more other cool stuff that I kind of want to show you guys this morning, but I am going to resist the urge to give away all the spoilers. We're going to have to build up to the we're going to build up to the spoilers. That was merely kind of a sampler, like a tasting tray. The intro will be different in the final product, but I just wanted to play a little bit of like some of the tunes and maybe some of the animation stuff that might be getting used in it, just to really settle into this episode, I think. Man, I love unpacking. Well, I'm glad you guys do, and I'm glad we actually get to have an episode today, because I am late. I am late to this episode. I did sleep through both of my alarms. Count 'em, boys. 2 dos alarms. I slept through both my alarms this morning because I had a god-awful sleep, which was a shame because I got into bed at like 9:30, had my cup of tea, I had my book with me, had my journal, I was sketching, I was writing, I was taking things easy. And then the second I was like, yes, I'm feeling sleepy, my eyes are heavy, okay, perfect, I'm gonna nestle in and try and go to sleep. That was not gonna happen. Arthur, holy crap, how are you doing, Europack? 28 months of support, Arthur. Thank you so much for tier 3, supporting what I'm doing. Thank you so kindly. I'm so glad that you're still around and supporting, even though you are a European pack. And I know a lot of the Europacks don't get to really watch the streams. And normally the early pod episodes are great for you guys. And I let you down this morning by sleeping through my alarms. But hopefully we can still have a comfy conversation time this morning. Jess, you were late and someone's impersonating you on the survey. It happens. There are no clones at Cynapse though. What am I talking about? I appreciate you even though you're European. You know, the Europacks know what they are. You know? Night coffee. Yeah, if you enjoy yourself a night coffee. I've gotten a little bit into decaf coffee. I'm not having cups of decaf coffee, but I have been adding a little teaspoon of decaf into my hot chocolates. Because I have been having hot chocolates. Like extra dark, extra salted hot chocolates, kind of nasty little creations that I've been enjoying in the evening. But yes, hey Jets, you can't just say mid-year reflection. The Christmas stream was just now. Yeah, exactly. The Christmas stream only just happened, right, guys? Right. Jets, you're finally old. Only old people do decaf. Yeah, well, I'm not really drinking decaf like properly. I'm not drinking a decaf coffee. I'm just adding decaf into my hot chocolates, and I'm actually making me think I might make like a decaffeinated kind of tiramisu thing, because I always crave a coffee flavored treat in the afternoons, but I never eat them because coffee fucks me up, and I already have a terrible relationship with my ability to get a solid fucking night's sleep. So it's never a good idea to have anything caffeinated past 3 for me. Jets, what do you call Aussie packs? I guess, Aussie packs. We don't actually have a lot of Australian packs. I think we're getting more Australian packs here and there. I know Marco has a disproportionately higher batch of Aussie Wobby Gangs because of the hours she streams in the afternoon, so people can watch her when they clock off work in Australia. But here, because I go live in the morning, normally earlier than this for the Unpacking pod, when I actually get to have a solid night's sleep, it tends to be a lot of Canadians and a lot of the burger bros are in the community. But I do love seeing an Aussie pack because then I can make super niche references and I'll still get like a mega lol. Like sometimes I make a joke and it's just for me because I know that unless you're Australian, you're just not going to get it. Time to open your PO box and get a lifetime supply of tiramisus. I mean, I do want those tiramisu thins Oreos. I think it was Dave Cap came into the stream and berated me with the trauma that is the existence of tiramisu Oreo thins and the fact that I can't get them. Although I'm slowly forming this little list at the moment, boys. Like slowly, it's because it's the mid-year and so what I did. Also, good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I do hope you're lovely and you got yourself something comfortable and you're ready for a little bit of talking for the next few hours. Dave loves these Oreos. Oreos are great. I mean, I never really grew up with Oreos. Like, this might sound preposterous to a lot of you guys, but I need you to understand, once again, born very rural in Australia, I think I had my first ever Oreo when I was like 17, maybe? Even older than that. Like, it was not a thing that was just sold in stores here in Australia growing up, so I never had them. Had a lot of in Australia what you could get is these things called Arnott's biscuit packs. I didn't grow up on Biscoff either. I literally started eating Biscoff last year. Maybe even, the end of last year is the first time I had ever had Biscoff. I had Biscoff for the first time, actually, was when I got the Biscoff Hungry Jack's ice cream combo, and it changed my life. It changed my life fundamentally. But growing up, we had these things called Arnott's biscuit boxes, or like family packs or party packs, something like that. Essentially, in Australia, our popular brand of biscuits, we call them biscuits. I guess you guys might call them cookies, something like that. The assorted packs, family assorted pack kind of things, and they're like. Your nan always has them, and they're a big box of various kind of like the hits, the best biscuit hits. Let me grab an image for this. Let's bring up a visual diagram about what I'm talking about. We are getting completely sidetracked. We will get into talking about the year, but Arnott assorted biscuits. Yes, these are the ones, boys. So in Australia, we have Arnott's family assorted or Arnott's cream assorted packs. And that's an AFIF file. I think it's the creams that your nan would get because that's the nicer ones. Here's a great image of it. Yes. Okay, so this is the inside of the box. It's like normally comes in like a plastic container like this. Let me show you all this is some little bit of Australian education for the masses here. This is my Aussie hour moment. So what they would do is they would come in the plastic kind of packs, I guess like an Oreo pack, and you open it and inside it is these divided trays of the classic Arnott's assorted biscuits. You had the shortbread and cream. You had like a kind of, I think it was like almost like an Anzac biscuit. Then you had the one which was like the red, the Monte Carlos, I think. Then you had the orange slices. You had the shortbread on the end, which is oh god, I love these ones. Arnott's, I love the chalk bottom ones of this. Arnott's Scotch Fingers. Fucking love Scotch Fingers. That was my childhood biscuit. But the best one of all is right here in the middle. This is the one that I loved the most as a kid because it was the special treat, and it's called the Kingston, and it's like a ginger snap kind of butter biscuit. It's not really ginger snap, it's more like softer. It's like a crumbly butter biscuit. And the inside is like a chocolate ganache. Oh, it's so good. Assorted creams. That's the biscuits I grew up with. No Oreos, no nothing like that. The classic, you go to Nan's place and she has the Arnott's assorted, and then you steal all the Kingstons and you have them with your I don't even know if I had them with tea, maybe with a cup of milk or something. You like the orange cream biscuits? Dubious, that truly is dubious. Jess, I went to the hobby shop. Oh, hell yeah. Didn't know anything. I got a Chazaku. Dude, enjoy your Gunpla adventures. Actually, talking about this kind of segues back into my conversation I was having about the list, my slowly growing list of things to get. I have on that a trip to the hobby store, because since the start of do they have packages that are just Kingston's? They do mech, yeah. Because so essentially that's just like the best of assorted pack. They still sell like all of those biscuits individually as well. And I haven't had a Kingston biscuit in forever. Maybe I should treat myself. Maybe I should, next time I run out of biscuits, because I'm currently working through a pack of Biscoffs. Maybe I'll get myself some Kingstons as a real treat. It's the cold weather. It seems appropriate. No time at the present. Yeah, I did just run out of milk because I made myself some really crappy coffee this morning. I made myself crappy coffee because I woke up late, so I didn't have time to make my filter coffee. So I run out of milk. I gotta go to the shops, get some milk. I'll get some biscuits as well. Wait, a biscuit starter pack? I guess you could kind of technically call it a biscuit starting pack. It's like it's a flavor taster. It's a charcuterie board of Australian sweet biscuits. Hello, new viewer here. Hope you're well in the land of the foreign. I am. I'm doing well in the land of down under. I hope you're doing well this morning. We are just having our very unseasonal bonus episode of the Unpacking Pod. Just because I did want to wake up early today and chat about random stuff and life and art and the year, but I woke up late and I still wanted to talk about those things. So this is where we are. This is where we are, boys, talking about biscuits. Podcast style streamer? No, actually, I'm not a podcast style streamer. I'm normally a retro video games poorly streamer. Dork out about sci-fi and big robot streamer, but every now and then I do get on and we just talk about art, life, all the rest of it. I'm a bit of a mixed bag. I'm like a mixed bag of lollies, but I'm all the ones you hate. Wait a second, not lollies. I'm a mixed bag of sweets, candy. I'm a mixed bag of candy it's all the flavors you hate. Sorry, I was about to say, I'm Australian. They call them lollies over here. I'm not talking about freaking Galgura. Okay, sorry, let's get into it. How are you doing this morning? Did you see the David Lynch auction estate? I did, Vladimir. You can buy his, canes, you can buy his books, you can buy his chunk of the Berlin Wall. I was tempted, but I hope it ends up going into, archives or museums, honestly. Yeah. You gotta be careful about saying thongs and things like that around America and starting talking about, Goon of Fortune and all the rest of it. I think it's your fault, not ours. You guys bastardized our language, okay? We had it first. We used these terms first, and then you made them nasty, degenerate, and filthy, and I refuse to change. I'm an old lady. Yes. I think it's okay if we miss out on David Lynch's couch. I can appreciate the archived images that have been collected because of this. I do just hope they end up going into safe collections, and I'm sure they will. Hey boys, when we're robbing the bank? We've got that scheduled in for, I think it was August. We'll rendezvous for the bank heist in August, lads. That's a plan. Just keep that in mind. I know it's in the future, but schedule it in. So, if I could have one of David Lynch's ashtrays, I'd die happy. That would be pretty good. I actually have quite a eclectic collection of ashtrays. I've talked about this beforehand. Not for smoking cigarettes or anything like that. I just have somehow accumulated them. I use them as trinket, keep trays. I tend to kind of it's the scatterbrain mentality of losing things. When I have my keys, or if I wear a ring, or use a hair tie, or anything random, a clip to clip my fringe back, because I clip my fringe back before I go to sleep. I don't like having my fringe sit on my forehead when I'm sleeping, so I clip my fringe back. Anyway, so I have random clips and stuff around the facility, and I put them in little trays, which just end up being vintage ashtrays. Vintage ashtrays serve very well as keep dishes, random places to put your keys, and then it's designated zones around the facility so I don't lose things. It's better that I have designated dump zones, otherwise my glasses end up in the fridge. you know? You know? It's, bro, this is a specific tray for those. Yeah, I could use a specific tray, or I could use a vintage ashtray from the 1964 World's Fair. And I don't know about you, Jetpack, but I think that's a little bit cooler. Like, oh yes, my glasses ashtray. Some vintage ashtrays are so big that they can easily fit my keys, my wallet, and my glasses on them. I just put them in there, otherwise I'll lose them somewhere else. What did you have for breakfast? Just didn't feel hungry this morning, actually. Wasn't really in the mood for breakfast. I just made myself a coffee, and I'll probably have myself a big lunch after the episode of the pod. This is a well-documented ADHD technique. It's the everything box. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. And I just make them funny little eclectic dishes, which tend to be vintage ashtrays. I've got my World's Fair one, and then I've got my one which is a congratulations on your marriage. Which I think is hilarious. I genuinely do. It's a big giant ashtray that has an image of a 1950s happily married couple, and I'm like, congrats on your wedding. Here, enjoy lung cancer. Like, it's like, what? And so I got it because it blew my mind. I wonder, brekkie, does she know? Brekkie, yeah, I mean, brekkie's what we call it in Australia. Breakfast brekkie. Yeah, smoke for your unborn child. I just think it's so weird, and so I have it. I purchased it. Actually, it was one of those things where I didn't purchase it the first time I saw it. I went to this, like, bric-a-brac kind of market, and I was sitting there, and I was like, that is absurd. That is so bizarre. It's like how big it is, the image of it, everything about it. Of it being a wedding-themed ashtray, I just thought it was absurd. And I saw it, I was like, that is bizarre. And I didn't get it because I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this wedding-themed ashtray. It's like so unnecessary. Anyway, I went back to the market. It was still there. I went back to the market a third time. It was still there. And I was like, fine, I'm saving it. I'm the only person who's interested in this stupid fucking ashtray. It's like $2. I'm going to finally just buy it. And I'm happy I did. I'm very happy I did. Yeah. You actually don't even smoke. We've been over this. I use it to put like trinkets in it. It's just like perfect as a thing to like leave coins or keys. Oh, the number one perfect thing for just leaving spare change. Although I do have the insufferable thing. I have the insufferable thing currently, boys, in my wallet of anytime, like, you know, you're walking out and someone asks for change, I go, no change. I have my wallet. It's just yen. 2 years later, I still have fucking yen in my wallet. Ah, weeb. Have you ever tried to smoke or it's too icky for you? Okay, you know what? It's the pod episode. Boys, it's the pod episode. It's the pod episode. It's the episode where I get a little bit more vulnerable and honest with you guys. And I break down a little bit of the kayfabe and I be real here. Have I smoked a cigarette? One time. Yeah, like I've tried it. I've tried it. As you guys know, I was an art student. And there's a very, very strong culture in art school of so many people I went to study with went into study not as smokers and they left as smokers. I was fortunately not one of those people because I went out to like I think it was a post art school thing and everyone was in this, and it's like the thing was it was very cold where I studied, so everyone would accumulate in the smokers and they'd be slamming back cheap budget beers and just chuffing pre-rolls, you know, like, no, not pre-rolls, rollies, like, because the art students, they'd roll their own backy. We call it backy in Australia. It's like, yo bro, you got backy in a filter? You'd be an art kid in the smokers, and like everyone would be like, oh yo, you got some fucking backy? Oh yeah, freaking, and that'd you know, the roll it up, rolly style. Tolmec, thank you so much for 12 months of support. Seriously, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You get it, and then all my art school friends' freaking tote bags would just be littered with stray freaking tobacco in the bottom of that bag. It was so specific. But seriously, Tolmec, thank you for a whole year. Thank you for supporting what I've done for a year. Anyway, this is a long story short to just say it was very heavily part of art student culture. They smoke, they drink, and they paint. They end up getting poisoned by toxic paints in the studios. I like didn't go into art school either drinking beer. I left art school drinking beer. I did not leave art school a smoker. That's like very specific. So I was like trying new things. Like I was like, oh yeah, olives. Oh yeah, beer. I'm really enjoying these things. This is great. I think I was like in the smokers, and then and I was like quite a little bit tipsy, and they were rolling cigarettes, and they, you know, it's a social thing. So someone goes, oh, like someone their cigarette hanging out their mouth, rolling another one. Oh, you want one? Like, you know, just being social. It's almost like a polite gesture. Like, oh, you've had a decent enough conversation with this person. They're gonna offer you a cigarette. It's like a little token of like I don't know. It's like a little token. And I was like, I think it was like end of first year, and I was like, all right. It would be rude for me not to. How could you say no? So I said yes, and I was like, yeah, sure. And so I was a little bit drunk, where I was like, all right, fine. So I smoked a cigarette, and I was like, fuck. And it felt cool for all of 2 seconds. And then I remember being like, getting the worst head spins, and then being like, yep, cool, thanks, oh god. And then I woke up, boys, and I think it might have been my one and only terrible hangover of my life, and I could taste it in my throat, and I just felt god awful. And I was like, yeah, not for me. Like, just, I don't see any appeal to this personally. Like, I respected other people in like enjoying it, or like that being a thing that they liked. But I found out, like, yeah, I just didn't really get much from it. It wasn't my experience I really valued or needed going out socially. So yeah, no, I have tried what tobacco like tastes like. I've tried a cigarette once, and it really wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I think it just made me feel kind of awful and sick, and I don't think that's the kind of thing I want to indulge with. You didn't have a coughing fit though. That's impressive. Honestly, I was pretty much just like hoping to hold it all together. Hi, thank you for streaming for at least 2 hours. I probably will end up streaming for at least 2 hours. I mean, you've never tried Chinese cigarettes. No, I have not tried Chinese cigarettes. But I don't think I will. And I don't think I need to. But it was one of those things where, I was in a polite situation, a little bit of social pressure. I gave it a shot. That's to say, don't fall to social pressure. I don't think I will say, like, I don't regret trying it. It learned something about myself, but I also probably shouldn't have fallen a victim to the social pressure of the scenario. Just like uni stuff, I guess. It's part of life. You try things. I guess I'm very fortunate I didn't like it. It's not a good habit to pick up. Yeah, and a lot of the students I went to study with did pick it up, and I kind of felt bad for them. It was a lot of people I knew did not go into study with a smoking habit, and I was like, this is a shame. This is a shame. Because it's not good, and it's very expensive. Even though they were rolling like cheap cigarettes, it still was expensive. I guess I also was like, I thank God I didn't get into it, because I spent all the rest of my money on instant ramen. I would much rather buy the good quality instant ramen than buy Baki each week. Speaking of new things, Pride Month. So I think I can ask you, have you ever kissed a girl? Oh my god, Jetpack! You guys are asking me all the fucking spicy questions this morning. Jets, have you ever tried a cigarette? Jets, have you ever kissed a girl? Oh my god, this is like, am I live at 3 a.m? Are we like having a sleepover, boys? Are we like revealing our deep secrets? Oh my god, girl, have you ever? Oh my god. This is like Jean Faymas After Dark stream. What's going on? Okay, I'm curious now. I swear I've talked about this beforehand. Right? Have I not? When I was like, I know, because it doesn't really count in my opinion. When I was young, I had like a sleepover, a bunch of like with girls, like all of us girls had a sleepover when I was like maybe end of primary. And I swear I've talked about this because it's such insane cliche weeb bullshit. This is the most cliche weeb bullshit ever. And I don't think it was like as when I was like tween, it felt like it was like important, but like looking back, it's like that's nothing. But we were, you know, we actually were kind of all vaguely weebs. At least there was two of us in the group that were kind of weeby. Me and another friend of mine, like we watched like Lucky Star and Fruits Baskets and stuff. Anyway, we kind of spread our weebdom into the whole group of these like young girls, and we'll hang out and sleep over. So to the extent where we're like, we should play this thing called the Pocky game. Okay, context as well. Half of these girls in this group of friends are now actual lesbians. Unironically. Like, I think 4 out of 6 or like 3 out of 6 are genuine. So, which is kind of crazy. No correlation. Good for them. But we decided to play the Pocky game. And I remember like touching mouths with one of the girls and being like, oh my god, that's crazy. What the hell? But it wasn't like a kiss. It was like a, like your lips are pulled tight and you're like, oh my god, they kissed. But we weren't actually kissing. We were just young girls being dorky and squealing about stuff. Like, oh my god! Touching mouths with degeneracy, no way! Like, it was like barely anything. The closed eye, like, so scandalous. Like, people joke about girls' sleepovers being like that, but girls' sleepovers were kind of like that. Like, you would be like, can I touch your boobs? And everyone be like, oh my god, what? Like, what, wait, what do your bras look like? It's really weird that they were actually like that. Looking back on it all, it was a very just kind of cliche bullshit. Like, oh my god, who do you like? No way. Yeah, exactly. But you don't need to use bras, Jess. Shut the fuck up. All the stories and the myths are true. I mean, there was like only one sleepover that was kind of like that. The other ones, as we got older, were a lot more just like chatting and bullshit. But I didn't really go to a lot of sleepovers growing up. Like, I could probably count on 2 hands the amount of sleepovers I actually went to. And actually, boys, for the most part, a lot of the sleepovers I ever had as a kid were co-ed. That only happened on the one all-girls sleepover I had as a kid, because most of them were co-ed and we were just kind of hanging out, watching movies, talking shit, and it wasn't anything like, oh my god, let's kiss, oh my god, our bras. It was most just like hanging out, vibing. Co-ed sleepovers? Wow. Really? Is that shocking for you guys? You need to understand, like, growing up, I had a massive mix of girls and guys friends. Like, and even before I had friends who were chicks, I had friends who were guys. I would be the one chick at the all guys sleepover when I was really, really little. And there was like birthdays and stuff. So it was like just hanging out. Very used to just hanging out with girls and guys in a very social, normal context. And that shouldn't be weird to say, I think. Like, it wasn't, I didn't have a lot of friends as well. Keep this in mind, I also wasn't very high on the social rung, and I didn't really get to go to a lot of sleepovers. And the ones I did get to go to, I was kind of like very like happy to be there. I had a sister, so both of us had friends for sleepovers. Yeah. We had co-ed sleepovers. It wasn't a lot of movie watching going on. For the most part, it was a lot of talking bullshit and like lots of egging each other on to do dumb shit. Not necessarily even like romantic or like, oh, we should kiss. A lot of just like dumb stuff like, oh, can you chug this jug of milk or something, like just kind of silly things like that. I don't even know. Fight Club, yeah. Yeah, just dumb shit. Like, it was very much. I also grew up rural, so we'd spend a lot of it just walking through the bush. Yeah, kickflip off the roof, that kind of stuff. It'd be dumb stuff like, bro, I dare you to go swimming in the dam. And like, dude, no way, it's gross, bro, I dare you. Like that kind of stuff. It was a lot of, we'd walk around the bush, find a big stick, talk about random things. In fact, I actually found a video. So Mech Mum gave me this, like, gave all of us kids these hard drives of our old family desktop computer that basically had kicked the bucket. But she ended up getting someone to archive a lot of the images and videos on that computer onto a hard drive. And I ended up giving me the hard drive, and I went through and I had all of the photos that I had recorded off this little digital camera I had when I was like late tweens, early teens. And on this digital camera was it was videos from a specific sleepover from when I was a kid. And oh my god, no wonder I had no fucking friends. But catch 22 to that, thank god I was insufferable, because it's like I recorded so much. I was really into like recording things as a teen. I loved just like carrying around my camera and recording like my friends and, well, friends, like, they kind of hated my guts. I mean, I was a bit of a dork, like, constantly. And yes, it was annoying. It's a constant thing of people being like, Jets, get the camera out of their face. Oh my god, Jets is recording us. Jets, stop recording us. You're so annoying. Jets, like sort of that. Like, oh my god, Jets is recording us again. Like, it's a lot of like them being pissed off at me. But thank fuck, because the videos I have, boys, are insane. It's like, do you any of you guys have like video recordings of what it was like walking around your campus? Or like having a sleepover? It was so fascinating finding these videos. It was like a time capsule of what it was like being in like early high school. And I'm so glad I did it, because no one else would have these videos. And yet now I have like this whole like folder on this hard drive of what it was like to see my teenage friends. And it was really surreal. And everyone's like flipping off the camera being like, oh my god, she's doing it again. But it's great to have, because it's like you realize that you didn't talk about anything interesting in high school. Like, you filled your lunch breaks with absolute mundane bullshit. Like, I'm like kind of vox popping, just recording, and the conversations people are having is just nonsense. It's like we filled lunch days after lunch days of like of years of high schooling with just nothingness. And it was very, very interesting to see, because I'd completely forgotten it until I found these videos. Do adults talk about anything interesting? I don't know. Maybe not. I feel like the conversations I have with friends nowadays are a lot more directed and engaging. Like, no one's gonna be watching the podcast of the, whatever the kids at my school were talking about at lunch break. Are we doing the same right now? I think I'd like to think the conversation we're having now is a little bit more engaging, but I don't know. Possibly the same kind of thing. But yeah, that was very interesting. Sorry, how do we get into this tangent? I can't remember. I don't know how we got to this, but I think this is a little more productive. Kissing. Oh, that's what it was. Sleepovers, we got to me archiving my schooling experience, which I'm really happy I did. I've always been a bit of an archiver, for better and worse. Like, I think it's an innate desire. It's part of my like the image collection part of my brain that wants to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Document stuff. And I think this kind of goes back into the reason why we're having this episode of the pod, is there's a sense that I really enjoy kind of collecting and reflecting on stuff, and not in like being sentimental necessarily. I'm very unsentimental about my archives. I'm very objective, maybe. It's a little bit almost weird. Hoarder behavior? Definitely not hoarder behavior, because it's all very, very organized and put away. Like, I have so many, it's for posterity's sake. It's also really good if you want to create stuff for the future, to have like references to look back on, if that makes sense. I'm a bit of a loot goblin, not hoarder. You guys say hoarder, bros. I've seen, like, I've known people who have known hoarders. Hoarders is a debilitating thing that can affect your entire life, and is like genuinely impactful negatively on your life. Being able to organize a series of film photos into an album is not hoarding at all. Like, no, that's just being a collector or an archiver or a person that enjoys getting stuff, you know. Taking photos of things that are nice is not hoarding. You want organization though? Bros, I'm organized to an insufferable fault. Gonna have a dinner? That's all good. Take care of yourself, Slow Even Burn. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Hoarder versus collector is like putrefaction versus fermentation. Yeah, I guess that's a good analogy. Shut up and let me pathologicize your normal behavior, streamer. That's just artist behavior. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. I think it's an innate artist behavior. I'm very much a minimalist person. I would like to be more minimalistic than I am. I would like to read some more work about like feng shui and space kind of optimizing. I do enjoy that. I genuinely kind of would like to get rid of some of my stuff, although I do cherish what I do have. Speaking of, would you share the video you sent the Vishayan girls of Ikemen jets? Is that buried forever? Oh, that's buried forever. Also, Scoopy, you keep distracting me from the conversation points I'm trying to have. I'm all for feng shui. Yeah, no, I would like to look more into feng shui. Wow, we are completely off what today's episode's actually meant to be about, and I do apologize. I would like to get back onto the topic of what today's episode's actually meant to be. Let me take a sip of my coffee. So, the reason why we're having a mid-year episode is not just so I can talk about random bullshit from my childhood. I apologize. It's so we can kind of have a little reflection on the year so far and talk about some really cool plans for the future. That's what the actual plan is here. And for you guys to talk about as well. I'm sure the things you're reflecting on were mid-years past. No, it's just random bullshit. Who cares about my teenage sleepovers? This is very, very mundane, and I apologize for boring you with it. So the year so far, and what a year so far has been. It does actually feel kind of surreal that we are at the middle point. This year has moved very quickly. I'm at work. That's all good. Take care of yourself, Kyon. Take very good care of yourself. Isn't feng shui... Wait a second. Isn't feng shui made up? No. It's grounded in common sense. No, feng shui is very interesting. Like, from what I understand, it's got quite a decent methodology. It's got to do, like, what is feng shui, though? From what I understand, it's a way of laying out your environment in a kind of like a holistic, natural way, based on a kind of series of fundamental principles about how you like enter in and move through space. It's vague rules that I wouldn't want to make sure my space is perfectly aligned with it, but it's more like it's a way to think about laying things out in space, which I would like to look into more. It's like a room layout, you know. feng shui is really vibes based. Yeah, but so much is vibes based. Like, this is a design theory. And a lot of the design theory is vibes based. Like, arts theories are different than like science theories. A lot of science theories can be ground on a control group or a reaction to a chemical. You have a input, action, product, outcome. However, a lot of design theory or art theory upholds a similar sense of principle. It's grounded in research, it's grounded in comparison, it's grounded in having maybe even subjects and study. But at the end of the day, because of the whole entire concept of subjectivity, it still is vibe based. Color theory, composition, all those things do have fundamental ideas of rules, conventions, even sciences behind them when it comes to composition, because you can put them on certain things like golden ratio, aspect. You can kind of see where things align, but then again, it's still going to be bound by subjectivity, because it's like humans often, when you're looking at a painting, you have to think about the flow of the eye from the left to the right, but that gets completely thrown its head when you look at East Asian art, specifically maybe Japanese woodblock prints, where you need to understand a lot of the images are actually going to be being read from the right to the left instead of the left to the right. So we actually look at a Japanese a composition on a Japanese woodblock print. If you were grown in an environment where you were reading text from left to right, you will read that woodblock print from the left to the right, but that's not actually how the artist would have constructed a composition, because they're reading the work opposite. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? So that kind of throws something like composition theory on its head a little bit. So that's what I'm saying is, despite the fact that a lot of arts theory can be engaged with concepts, it is actually still at the end of the day a little vibe based, and feng shui applies to that kind of whole thing. You need feng shui so that Happy Home Academy gives you a high score and you get better luck regarding items and money in Animal Crossing. Honestly, yes. Composition's literally vibes. It's good if you like it and bad if you don't. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Have you much experience of Japanese woodblock prints? Personally, ones I've seen in person. Like, I've seen some in galleries. I've made woodblock prints myself beforehand. I have a few woodblock prints that I've collected. But I would like to know more. And one of the things that I was sad about is I really, really, really wanted to do a print course for my studies, and I was not able to. One, because it was COVID. Two, because the print courses were always full. Like, it was always a fight to get into the prints courses. They were very, very, very popular. So I never got to actually do printmaking. I got to do ceramics. That was incredible. A bunch of other really cool things like video production, that kind of stuff, but never got to do print. But so I ended up doing it in my own time. So it wasn't, but I never got to properly use the big printing presses and stuff, which I always wish I could have. Didn't do woodblock. Yeah, no, I've done woodblock printing and vinyl printing. And they're both very interesting to experiment with. Do you social studies? No. I mean, I did like public art stuff. Like, there's a degree of studies about social stuff that happens in an arts course, because that just naturally happens, but not specifically. Anyway, so I'm getting sidetracked. Who are mentioning these things? Oh god. On the topic of reflecting, how's the ankle? Great, actually. Thank you. So I didn't mean to say, oh god. I didn't mean to sound so exhausted. I'm more frustrated in myself for the fact that I'm getting so distracted right now. It's not you guys. I'm getting frustrated at myself for being so scatterbrained. Thank you for the 500 bits, Mario Head. Yes, the ankle. So yes, it is doing significantly better because I went for a run last night. went for a run last night for the first time in a very long time. I went down along a really lovely running track, and despite it being winter in Australia and getting freezing cold by the end of the night, like by night time, the afternoon was actually quite pleasant enough for me to go on a quite nice jog. And I did listen to the Deus Ex soundtrack. I did. How's your ankle? Basically fully recovered. If I do sit on it when I'm trying to stretch it out in a certain way, it does still feel sore. Like the tendon definitely is still a little bit tight and sore, but I do stretches every day. And I think because of that, I'm very happy I'm able to run properly on it. And I just need to be very careful in the future of re-rolling it. So that's really good. So yeah, I'm able to go for a light jog, which is nice. Very nice. And got to enjoy doing a little jog and enjoying the sunset and going along a nice kind of running track. I'm very grateful that I live in Australia where places are walkable and runnable and all the rest of it. So, well, you know, I'm really happy about that. Wait, what's the temperature during the evening or night? Fucking freezing at the moment. The days are quite pleasant, but the nights are just icy. Guys, this is not what we're meant to be talking about. It's not what we're meant to be talking about. Let me drink my coffee. Yes, I know. I know that rolling your ankle means that for the future, I am going to be prone to, at any point, possibly re-rolling it, which sucks, but just a thing, you know, we live with. I'm happy at the moment that it's healed enough for me to be able to run on it, and I will just be very smart about trying to stay mobile and keep, you know, things stretched so it doesn't really happen. This year has been moving quickly. It's almost been a year since I started following. That's crazy, Flamingo. Thank you so much for supporting and following, though. Do you have a warm blanket? No, I need to get a warmer blanket. My current blanket's not warm enough. I think I need to get a electric blanket. I do love an electric blanket, which is on my to-do get list, because I was talking about my slowly going list of things I want to purchase. Like, since I moved, if you ever tell me you rolled your ankle, I'm going to ask you if it was a nat 20. That's great. Brilliant. 10 out of 10 joke, Dave. Good shit, my man. No, it was a nat. Ah, fuck. This is so painful. Why did I do this? God, shit, fuck. Imprison me mama in bed with you for heat. She basically is. She sleeps with me every night now because and she uses me like a hot water bottle, little bastard. So, at the start of this year, if there are any new jetpacks that don't know about what the start of the year was like with me, let me bring you up to speed. At the start of this year, I moved states across, basically halfway across Australia. I completely packed up my life and moved to be closer to my family, which was a crazy thing to do in my mid-20s. Like, absolutely crazy choice to do, and kind of surreal. And it's now been half a year of being in this current location closer to my family, and only I think in the last 3 weeks, maybe not even, have I finally kind of started to feel like comfortable in my routine. Where are you moving next? Oh, probably international at some point. I'll be here for like another maybe anywhere between 3 to 6 years, and then I might move somewhere else in the world. I'm here until the mechlings get a little bit old enough, where they're too busy with education and schooling and stuff. And then I'll probably move somewhere completely different. I can't stay too long in one spot, I found, as a person. I kind of innately get the instinct to go somewhere else. Clear said Vishine's over the second you leave Australia. I mean, I doubt that entirely. Although I am a little bit of a linchpin when it comes to Vishayon. I always forget that, like, though I like to treat it like, you know, because it is a team effort 100%. I am the originator of the silly little idea. She yearns to wonder. I just am not a person that finds comfort in being locked down to one location. I get like antsy. Like I moved far when I was like right at the end of my teens, and then I've moved back, and it's just in the move and the change location perspective. Although it sucks, like doing a big move sucks. Like completely uprooting your entire existence, everything you knew, everything you're familiar with, and you've gotten used to for the last few years, is fun, exciting, but it is exhausting and full on. And so like I developed quite a decent amount of savings by the end of my last year, and I had to spend so much for the move. Basically, the last few months have been just kind of getting back on my feet, and I'm finally at that point where I'm like, okay, I think I can start spending a little bit of money on some things like, some stuff for model kits, and maybe get some more notebooks and pens, and getting my glasses updated and stuff, because like having to get a new fridge and a washer and a bed frame, because I sold and got rid of 90% of the stuff because I did not want to move a lot of what I had. So I had to really build from the ground back up at the start of this year. And then that was kind of on top of the big move at the start of this year, was me getting really quite sick. Like me getting very, very quite sick. It's kind of like it was a sickness that kind of developed pre-move, got exacerbated by the move, and then it took like family checking in on me after the move for me to take efforts to get better. And so that had been part of the start of this year. So that's why I feel like the year has went so fast for me personally, was moving my entire locations, then getting really unwell, and then trying to sort things out have, I think, definitely exacerbated the speed of how this year has flown for me. So it has been a lot. I'm the opposite. I just want a stable living situation. I mean, I crave that, but I feel like if I get that, I wouldn't appreciate it. Like, I've moved every year of my life since I was like 17. Like, all of my 20s, I basically moved every single year of my life. And I don't see that changing anytime soon, to be honest. I'm just kind of used to it being part of my routine at this point. Dang, same. Yep. I feel that. Yeah, absolutely. Is it exhausting? Oh, it's exhausting every time. It's absolutely exhausting. It takes it out of you. Like, you have to... I'm really good at it. I'm so efficient at it. I'm so good at knowing which boxes to get, which will fit all my stuff into it, because I've done it before. Yeah. Moving constantly sounds terrible as a streamer. It genuinely is. It was moving while I was just a student was one thing, but moving as a streamer, I despise it. Like, having to take as much time away from stream as it causes me to do, and then making me feel as exhausted as it does, and then trying to get back into streaming was not fun this time around. And I possibly pushed myself a bit too much my first month back while I still was unwell. And it wasn't a smart idea, but I'm doing a lot better now. Way better. I'll just stay in one location all my life, like a medieval peasant, and I respect that. Glad doing better, Jets. How's the health so far now? Well, that's the thing. Not only have I felt it's taken me the entire year so far to come settled into my physical location, I think also my physical being has taken the entire year to settle in as well. It's been like a 1-2 punch, where I got fucked with the move, and then I got fucked with my health, and so this whole start of this year has just been crazy. It's been a little bit just trying to stay above water, really. Punch back, I always do. I always fight right back. It's just been trying to stay above water, and now that we've hit this mid-year point, I feel like this is where it gets really nice. because it's like I've had a lot of projects having to be put on the back burner just to get by, and now going into the next part of the year, I feel like this is where things get to be. Sometimes Jets feels more like an adult than me despite being younger. I've been told that by a lot of people. I've been told that by quite a lot of people. Though, don't take that as a bearing on your maturity or your ability to function as an adult. I've just been handed quite a decent hand that's forced me to have a haggard soul. Did you have a huge amount of rubbish? Not a single piece of rubbish. I got rid of so much of my stuff. I basically only have my essentials as a person. Like, I only have the things I like and the things I need, because I've moved so much. And that's probably why I'm an archiver by nature of things like images and small trinkets and mementos, and why I keep them so organized is because I've never had attachment to physical space, right? I don't have like a family home or a home that is mine. I'm very good at adapting to environments and spaces and making them my own. And so that's probably why I tend to like record a lot of stuff, because I know I'm very aware of everything's ephemerality. You know, I'm very aware that I have no ownership of it over anything, really. Like, really, I don't. And I'm super open to things just kind of being, being lost, if for the most part. I'm still a child at heart. Well, that's the thing. I am also still big bingus at heart, adaptive. Yeah. I could see Jets becoming super nomadic and sending all of her important stuff to mum. I mean, I could do that. Problem is, I can't send my stuff to anyone. Like this, I don't have anywhere I could store all my stuff. Like, I don't have like a childhood home with a shed or a basement where I could put things. Jetpack, mech mum lives in a bus. Like, you need to understand. I do have femininality. No, ephemerality, chat. It's a different thing. It's a different thing entirely. Ephemerality is it's another word for degradation. It's something not having permanence, to be ephemeral. It's not feminine. It's a transitory nature of being. Yeah, she has a freaking party bus. The Venga bus is popping, and everybody's stopping. New York to San Francisco, the entertainment bistro. Hey, say what you say. Happiness is just around the corner. It's about impermanence. Yeah, how big is the bus? Quite small. It's like enough to have a little kitchen, and it has have a bed and a toilet. It's like decent. Actually, well, it's decently big, but it's just bus size, Yeah. So how do we get in this topic? Yes. Sorry, the start of this year, with how full on it's been with the move and with trying to fix out my health. I really feel like I've learned a lot about myself this year. Like, genuinely. Are you on a bus right now? No, I wish. Imagine streaming from a bus. That'd be sick. Go get Mech Mum into streaming so she starts streaming from her bus. I feel like this year I've had to be forced to, like, get rid of my bullshit, Like, being in my mid-20s, I'm like, I can't have any of this bullshit anymore. I can't have juvenile hang-ups that, like, make me unwell or cause me to dote, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? It's like, because in regard, like, because that turned out that was like one of the, like, the biggest, you're still growing. Oh, I know, Dave. I'm not gonna be solved ever in my life. But it's more just like with my health stuff. With how bad it was. It ended up being like a multi-faceted thing that needed to be tackled, and it was full on. Introspection is key. Keep it up, but not think too much. My therapist gets upset when I do that. Yeah. Jets, you're thinking too much about things again. Oh, fuck. But yeah, but no, it has been nice. I feel a lot more rock solid. Sorry, I was moving my mic around. In understanding stuff, really. What's up, Jets? Welcome in, dang it. What's up with you? I hope you're doing very nicely. But yes, so that's kind of how the start of the year has been. And then on top of that, there's been like Vivi's moved down this way and stuff. It's been very interesting. Things I've like not expected to happen like that. To have like friends move by and then be in a position where I can go out and get like lunch and stuff with friends, which I've never I never had that for ages, because after I graduated from mech studies, I had like no friends. I basically did not leave the facility at all, and I just streamed, which I'm not complaining about. Love that entirely, boys. But it's about being a mature adult and finding that healthy balance, because in any workplace, specifically a workplace like streaming, where you spend a lot of time online, you're not forced to go out to a office or something like that. It's been incredibly beneficial to hang out with fellow streamers, co-workers in a physical sense, out and get coffee, or call the Vagina Girls regularly for Discord calls, and find this balance. Because I genuinely think people joke about like VTubers having friends. I've become now like a massive advocate for VTubers having friends. And you guys said you have 400 friends now. No, I appreciate the sentiment of saying like community are your friends, and I don't want to knock down the fact that you guys are definitely a social interaction, and I appreciate all the Jetpack as a community of people who support me and I support back. But it's something different that's important to be said about streamers and content creators having socialization IRL with fellow streamers and fellow people that aren't just their community. I think it's beneficial not just for the streamer, but it's beneficial for the community. Like, I think it's so beneficial for you guys that I'm not just trapped inside constantly just streaming. I think it becomes a kind of venomous cycle. I love being able to go out, watch a movie, read a book, and come back and be able to tell you guys stories and adventures, you know? It's nothing more fun than going out and doing stuff with people and then being able to tell you guys about it. I feel like it just adds a richness to anecdotes and to story. Cleo isn't friend, Cleo is just business. No, Cleo is a very good friend. I got on a call with Cleo and Marco just a week ago, and we talked about life. It's healthy to have different friends groups. Yes! Like, absolutely. This is like of life, even outside of being a streamer. It's nice to have multiple different friends groups and different environments, not say like put all your eggs in one basket, but just to have a variety of people you socialize with is a very healthy thing as a person. Are you telling me listening to the streamer, yup, isn't social interaction? No, I actually think it is a social interaction. I absolutely is. And I think being able to hang out with other people and also hang out with the community does not discredit either interaction. I think either interactions are completely compatible with one another, and if not beneficial of each other, if that makes sense. But pray the two friends never meet, or at least find out. I mean, you could, yeah, there's the whole then crossing the streams of friends groups. Also, hi Bav, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome. It avoids echo chambers. Well, it's not even just echo chambers. It's like, it's just healthy as a person to interact. And I say that as a person who didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and didn't have a lot of multiple interaction, and how much I value it now as an adult, being able to hang out with my family, and then being able to hang out with you guys on stream, and then being able to hang out with fellow streamers, I think it's super, I really appreciate it. Yeah, having different friends and interactions are so helpful. Also gives you more freedom and isn't stale as it could become. Yeah. But what if someone recognizes your voice from far away, like IRL? Are you talking about like what if a Jetpack recognizes me in IRL? I fucking dare you to come talk to me, Jetpack. If I'm at PAX and one of you guys recognize my voice, come say hi to me, little bitch. Don't be a little shy pack. Go on. Bet. Yeah, I fucking bet. Come say hi. Come say, you motherfucker. Yeah. Don't take a creepy little fucking photo on your phone. Be like, I think it's Jean Faymas. No, motherfucker. Come up to me and say, hi, Jets. Are you Jets? Dude, I'm a jetpack. I'll be like, buddy, come in here. We're getting a hug. Like, come on. Like, nah. You come over to my face and you say hi, and I ask you how your day is, okay? Okay? I'm not calling you a weirdo. I'm asking you how you're doing, okay? Okay? Okay, I'm booking flights to Australia. You know, seriously, nowadays, I've talked about this. I am a lot more content nowadays every day with interacting with PA-san, interacting with people, and people being very respectful and very casual. There's very little now, more and more each these days, that keeps me from having PA-san out there. It's more just, I guess, I really am still a lover of K-Fab and of so many cool elements of streaming, but I'm also not, I think it's not a fear. I think when I was a younger streamer, it was like a fear, it was a debilitating fear of like, what if? Nowadays, I'm like, if someone recognized, that'd be funny. Like, I'm very more casual about it. It was actually very funny when I was hanging out with Mech Sis and my cousin, and I was talking to them about streaming and stuff and showing them what I do and everything. My cousin was like, are you ever gonna like show you? Cause you just look like you. And I was like, I know. She's like, people would be fine with it, right? Cause you just look like you. And I was like, I know I look like me. I look like which is very funny. Though I still have no intention to actually do it because I love the separation. I think it's very fun and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going out of my way to just like shove IRL stuff in people's faces, because you know I respect the vibes of the traditions of YouTubing 1000%, but it's more one of those things. If anyone did happen to recognize me at PAX, I'd probably be wearing a face mask anyway. You know, mech and all, baby. I'm purple. I'm very purple. Okay, I'm like Violet fucking Beauregard. Okay, yeah. The Jet's face reveal would be the least interesting thing ever. I've talked about this beforehand. I've had nightmares in which like I like got doxed or revealed, and people were just like, "Ah, oh, she's an average white woman." Anyway, so when's the next Deus Ex stream? Like,
reload, Dr. Freeman.
Reload, Dr. Freeman. Yeah, they're like, anyway, when's the next Deus Ex stream? Okay, cool, whatever. Average white woman moment. Wait, Jets, I took my jetpack plushie to the cinema with me. He said, oh, that's amazing, digital bro. What the fuck? That's so sick, bro. I hope you maybe like had a photo or posted it in the Discord. I have to check that out. Yeah, everyone be like, cool. Mankind divided when. But anyway, that is to say, I've talked about this beforehand. I think that's also coming to terms with my maturity as like a person and also as a streamer. Like when I started off streaming, I was still quite young. Like I was early 20s, if not late teens. I was like baby, and I've been doing this for like 5 years almost. Like what the hell, boys? Like, wait, how many years is it gonna be in September? 4 years? What the fuck? Not a hag. I'm sorry, not a hag. Speaking of plushie, my jetpack is on my side while I build my AC4 Illicit Plamo. Incredible. 4 years. 4 years. That's a long time. That is a long time to do something. Longer than my study. At this point, I would have been streaming longer than I was studying art, which is crazy. Crazy to think about. Did you have different models in your VTubing journey? I've made my models since day one, but it has evolved. I haven't. Where is she? I'll grab the classic Jets reference sheet. Where is it? I think it's in here. The info sheet. Here she is. Jet jump scare. Sorry, Jet jump scare. I've done my art since day one, and it's mainly just kind of evolved. You got I was a PNG, then I was my first live 2D, then I had my second live 2D, which was my mech suit, and then I had the final one, which you currently see, which is a 3D, not live 2D. I didn't know you made them. Yeah, so the full design you see is made by me. The only thing I didn't make in this regard is like I didn't actually model it in 3D, but all the art reference that was used for it and the textures and the shading were designed by me and then done by the incredible Nevere, and then all the actual like sparkly effects you see are done by Marco Fukusame, and the environment I'm in is done by the incredible Frida Mantle. But yes, this is it is like, yeah, 4 years of this, really. Wow. And then you are year 1, year 2, year 3, and then the current year 4. This is what I've looked like through it. Holy. Yeah, metal nubs got more pronounced. Yeah, the original first nubs were like the most not accurate, and then they haven't really changed much since season 1. But yeah, it's 4 years of doing this. And I think through doing this, I've become a lot more just self-confident in regards of like, when I was younger, I think I would have been a lot more scared of things and get in my head about things and, oh, should I do that? Is that okay? I'd have like a really cool idea for a project that's really creative and ambitious. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna be a bit like wacky and ambitious with this kind of idea. And then I would get in my head and be like, is it okay? Does that subscribe to VTuber ethos and idol culture and X and Y and Z? And then I'd be like, no, I can't do that. What if people don't like it? And nowadays, I'm just like, hey, if it makes the jetpack laugh, or it makes a cool stream, or I have fun and it's a nice time, then I don't really mind. And I'm confident as long as I know a few of you jetpacks had a good time, and there's gonna be people out there where this stream isn't for them, and that is okay. They don't have to engage with this stream. There's plenty of other streamers online who fulfill and are passionate about and enjoy that kind of culture stuff, like be it oh, thank you. Be it like idol, or GFE, or ASMR, or ara, or whatever it is. I'm not that, and I'm okay with that. And some people aren't, but that's okay that they're not. I used to be pretty adamant about the whole VTubers are idol thing, but lately I've been enjoying unique ones like you, and I'm glad. I think there's space for all of the above. Just because I can't necessarily achieve the idol culture perfectly, doesn't mean I disagree with it. In fact, I respect it. I have a lot of friends who are VTubers who are idols. I have friends who are VTubers who are in corporations, who uphold who will be getting, fancy outfits and doing cover songs and all the rest of it. And I have freaking friends who are Disney princess, cute little pink, little adorable little chibi things, So like, I know VTubers of every corner of the world, and I respect them. And in that, I hope people also respect what I do, even if it's a little bit different, even if I am someone who's comfortable with like talking shit and being a bit open, whatever. I think it's like, as long as people make stuff that they're happy with, that's most important. Jets is a pun idol. I don't think I could ever be an idol. And you're so cute. Exactly. Streamer's a streamer to me. And you're a streamer. Well, thank you, Tipta. I'm glad you like it. I think pretty soon we'll see VTubers presenting at academic conferences. I have been having this thought recently about working on a project, but it's probably not good for me to start working on it because I think I need to finish other stuff first. There's other things I need to get done first this year before I have this future project thing I'm kind of thinking of working on, where I think finally I might be able to integrate my study and my ability to read too many silly books about art with my experience of being a VTuber. And I think I'm thinking of a cool idea, and I've started writing down some notes for it, but it's probably not going to be for a while off. Maybe the 5th year anniversary after being doing this for like 5 years of my life. But for now, I've got some really cool other projects I'm working on. Jet's influencing chats again. No, you're my idol, bro. Thanks, bro. Jets enters the art dimension. Soon we'll see VTubers presenting in front of American Congress. Wait! Words cannot describe the spectacle of you. Oh, thanks, Bav. Man, I appreciate that. Broshi. Jets will teach advanced physics and mathematics. Ooh, Jet's biography? No! Not a Jet's biography. I've not had an interesting enough life to write a biography. That's not entirely true, actually. That's not true. My life has been anything but boring. But I don't think I have the self-confidence to feel like people care enough to read a biography on me. But I found some really interesting books recently that got me thinking, which is dangerous. I know me using my brain. Make her stop. Also, I'm dyslexic as fuck, boys. No fucking way I'm gonna ever be able to write a book. Although, talking about books, I did recently watch this video essay about, like, the book talk books that suck. And I'm like, God, if these are some of the best sellers, maybe I could write a book. Like, wow, people are just out here reading trash. Like, oh my God. What do you mean? What do you mean? These are the most popular books that people get from... Oh, God. Holy. I'm not a good author, but if I'm here like... Oh, that's a bit cringe, innit, mate? Then maybe things aren't looking great for you guys. I've always said this. Like, walk into a bookstore, look at the absolute shit that's on the shelf. That could be you. It's like music. Trash takes the top spots. I mean, hey, some pop music is fun. I've talked about this. I've never once listened to Espresso personally in my Spotify. But if that shit comes on in the mall, that's me, Espresso. I'm like, okay, I got my toe tapping. For real though, not books, but maybe like an art book. Most recent prized possessions, Ace Combat art book. I have joked about turning the Jets archives into some kind of pulp like zine that you could buy at some point. Jets VTuber bio would sell millions. Maybe if I make it to the age of 40, boys. If I'm lucky enough to make it to the age of 40, then I'll curl up with me cups of tea, be like, time to write my thesis on what it's like to be Jean Faymas. But not currently. And then you guys get to hear about all my dark secrets that get revealed only when the book gets put to print. All the bodies I was hiding in my basement. But yeah, this video I watched about fucking book talk. Apparently, at some point, one of the chapters just turns into poetry because the way he saw her was through a poetic lens, to the extent where the book turns from prose into poetry. But it's not even real poetry. It's just the fucking sentences being separated in a god-awful, insufferable kind of syntax. Oh my God! And people are eating this shit up, boys. They're eating this shit up. Couldn't believe it. It's called freeform. I just like... It's not real poetry. It doesn't hit rhyme. I'll die on this hill. I actually disagree with you fundamentally, Edward. Sincerely. I think poetry and rhyme is brilliant when done well. But, like, come on now. We've got some freaking Walt Whitman, some Ginsberg, some freaking Edith Piaf, some freaking Virginia Woolf. That's completely free verse and is beautifully poetic. Like, you can make a poetic analysis of something and it not rhyme. Like, for something to be described poetically, it does not have to rhyme. Do some of my favorite poets rhyme? Yes. Is Wolfgang Owen a rhyming poet? Absolutely. Do I adore his work? Entirely. But I don't think it's integral for poetry to rhyme to be poetic. Jets, I'll become a best-selling author by 2030. Watch me. Do it, digital bro. Do it. Haikus don't rhyme. Yeah, exactly. Haikus don't rhyme. it's more rhythm and flow. I think description holds a lot more value for me. Descriptive poetic imagery, or like descriptive imagery, holds a lot more value to me than rhyme does necessarily, because I feel like rhyme can also make something seem quite cheesy. I think it's very easy for rhyme to become kind of naive. I mean, that's saying something, considering all poetry is inherently naive by its, like, by default. But you know what I mean. Haiku isn't strictly 575 as well. It's true. Jets, how do you see yourself, Jean Faymas, here in 5 years? Like, how far you've come? Well, I guess that's the perfect segue to the next point of the conversation, right, boys? That rhymed. It's quite easily to become cheesy. That's what I mean. Like, I think rhyming is actually far in... I think it's easier to make a rhyming poem than it is to make a poem that doesn't rhyme and actually makes you captivated with the poetic imagery. I think that's a bigger challenge. Like, I could probably come up with a rhyme off my head very conveniently. Like, into her eyes I gaze, and praise be the days she forms before me. For when I see her, I see an ocean deep and blue. And this can only be formed by a fucked up haiku. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's bullshit. Like, you can do that in seconds. Like, come on. It takes little effort and it sounds childish. Like, it's kind of snap, 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 snaps. It's actually being able to form a poetic visual imagery that actually makes you go, ooh, I'm feeling something. That's when I go, oh fuck, that's good. Like, describing a sunset as being a linoleum sunset, it's like, fuck with that. That's good shit. Like an oiled down, like a something like that. You know what I mean? Like, when you actually get like a poetic image which just like, oh, you can, it strikes you. That's far more fascinating than when a poem like conveniently rhymes. The hip hop equivalent of, oh shit, yeah, exactly. Haikus are fun. I made Marco a terrible one a while back. Hell yeah. These talking podcasts streamed archived anywhere on YouTube where I can listen to it while I walk. They absolutely are livid. If you go onto my VOD channel, there is a subcategory called podcast, and you'll find the entirety of the pilot season of Unpacking in there. And this will probably be going into a separate category called bonus episodes, which will probably end up happening in between seasons whenever I feel like just going live and talking for about 3 hours. So you can definitely find them there. Thank you, Cupie. Wow, I was about to talk about the year the year plans and maybe the future plans. I ended up getting distracted with poetry. My bad. The reason why I'm thinking about this and I'm being a little bit pretentious and insufferable is because I have currently started reading The Poetics of Space, and it's actually a very, very interesting text. I'm actually really enjoying it because it's a lot of like making me kind of think a little bit differently about poetry as a person who's always kind of liked it. The jetpacks that were in the Wriggler. Wait, this is just to say, I have eaten the jetpacks that were in the Wriggler, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, for they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. I feel like the icebox, it was like peaches in the icebox, is one of the classic examples of a poem that doesn't rhyme that everyone connects with. And it's a classic for a reason. I'm not gonna lie, a dirty limerick is my favorite. Yeah, that's a thing. I feel like people feel the need to make poetry so whimsical and romantic and so sentimental, when you can be a bit cheeky, a bit nasty, a bit mean, if not diabolical with a poem. I like poems that are kind of cruel and make you laugh. It's just writing in it. It's just a study on using words in a way that's funny. It doesn't have to be so tiptoes through the roses kind of innately. The guy from Nantucket. Yeah. Through Silverstein into the woods to realize I had not yet lived. Really? Hell yeah. Ezra Pound comes to mind. That's cruel and beautiful poetry. Yeah. Me reading Plushkin and realizing his poetry is in time signature, and that's crazy. Well, that's another thing I always say. People read poetry and go like, don't like it, and then you have them hear what it sounds like being read out loud, and it completely changes it. There is something specific about reading poetry out loud where you're like, oh, I fucking, like, it goes from being like, okay, that's boring, to like, then you hear it, you're like, ooh, damn, all right, bars, fucking bars. Like, and it hits you and like, okay, I've been there, I see you, I get it. I've walked along that path before. I've walked this lonely road, the only road that I have ever known. Like, and you, like, I love a half rhyme. Like, my favorite rhymes are not a rhyme at the end of a poem. I like putting a mid-line rhyme, and then you segue a secondary rhyme into a like following up line, if that makes sense. Like, or like a rhyme, like she was so pretty but it was not to be, like those kinds of double like that kind of shit. I fuck with that, it's so good. Or put in like a double kind of, it was not meant to be to me, like two following up rhymes, like that kind of stuff. Lambic pentameter, baby, so sick. There was once a rabbit named Keith. Oh my god, with circumcised men with his teeth. It wasn't for leisure, a sensual pleasure, but get the teeth. No! Oh god. In the way the hate speech, I have no mouth and I must scream, is a poem. One thing I found cool is that most music can be considered poetry. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's what it is. Honestly, any person who writes lyrics for music is initially writing a poem and then putting it to music. Ban-worthy, absolutely ban-worthy. With prose work, like The Raven, because he wrote it in old stochastic octometer. Really? Like, isn't it like most of Shakespeare's written in that kind of way? Which is still insane to me, that like Shakespeare lines can be like all read by meter. Like, that still blows my mind. It really does. Anyway, well, we've been on a real tangent about poetry, haven't we, boys? I did recently get a Ginsberg little poetic text I haven't even cracked open. I've been meaning to crack it open just to read a few lines, but I've just been reading a lot of theories and essays and all the rest of it. Ooh, poetry, pog. Siri! I said theories, not Siri! Fuck off! I said art theory! Sorry. Apple. One time in 8th grade, I had a panic attack and I wrote a poem about it and handed it in for assignment and got an A. I think teachers are just happy kids are giving a damn about fucking around with the English language, and like, hell yeah. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just fucking around with the English language. Not like that. As a person who doesn't personally even really fuck with the English language, because it doesn't make sense to me, because I'm dyslexic. I like people just mashing words together. I also like in some ways, poetry like fundamentally challenges conventions of how we talk. Like, you can use a descriptor for an object that should not work together. And I like that, because English language dumb. Sorry. Back to the plans for the years, boys. Back to the plans for the years. There's a character from Girls Frontline 2 called Nemesis, and her way of speaking is just poetry and metaphors. It's like, I am Groot, but with poetry? Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Teacher, this is good shit. A+. Yeah, 100%. Hose Nose, thank you so much for 26 months of support, dude. I hope you're doing lovely. Thank you for spending the stream. Thank you so kindly. If you're doing lovely this morning. 26 months is ages. Thank you. Zero Brom Borderlands speaks only in haikus. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, actually. You would like Finnish or German then? Agglutinative languages are great for just mashing words together. Well, isn't that why the Germans have so many words that we don't have? Because their languages are so descriptive. Like, they have words which, like Schadenfreude, which is like laughing at someone's expense, or like the way that Germans describe things. Like, I sometimes watch this one German YouTuber lady, and she did this video about like eating German food, and a lot of German food is just like meat green, cold meat, rabbit in blanket, or like poor food. Like, a lot of the things translate very directly to just meaning like the thing. We also have there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce that. Weltschmerz, the Gestaltverlust, Zeitgeist. Oh, Zeitgeist, Gestalt, and the Gestaltverlust. That I know what Weltmeister, right? What's Weltmeister again? Weltmeister, Weltschmeister. I know Gestaltverlust, and I know Zeitgeist. Umweltverschmutzung. I did not pronounce. Can you believe, like, my first language, the world is pain. Amazing. Weltschmerz is world is pain? Weltschmerz, Let me get Siri to pronounce. Not Siri. Let me Google to pronounce this. For me, can you believe I? Okay, Weltschmerz pronounce. Let's just see if I can Google it.
Weltschmerz.
Weltschmerz. A feeling of melancholy and world weariness. Weltschmerz. Weltschmerz. Gestaltserful? Gestaltserful is my favorite German word. Getting painful. I'm so sorry, I cannot pronounce these. German was like the first language I was taught as a kid. Gestaltserful. A phenomenon where familiar objects or concepts like a world, character, or face appear to break down into its components, parts, when stared at for a prolonged period. Shape decomposition or disintegration of the whole. Oh, like when you stare at your face in the mirror for too long late at night and you start morphing into a horrific half ghost creature. Yeah. It's like when you see a word too often. Yeah. Gestaltserful. The what now? You guys have never stared at yourself in a mirror at 3 a.m.? It's like a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. Staring at the mirror in dim light. Sorry, I bumped something. In dim light. It's a phenomenon. 3:33 a.m. So, okay. Staring at one's reflections in dim light can lead to strange facial illusion, where the viewer perceives distortion, monsters, or unfamiliar faces in the mirror. This effect is more pronounced in individuals with mental health conditions. Oh, and like depression. The illusion is thought to be caused by the way our brain processes visual information in low illumination, and can be a source of anxiety or discomfort for people. It's like if you have an over-imaginative visual brain, your brain starts filling in space in the dim light. You outed yourself there. Oopsie doopsies. Oopsie doopsie doopsies. Yeah, that's why I like this Gestaltzerful. Yeah, Gestaltzerful. It is a thing that most people can experience. It probably is just more active for certain individuals with overactive imaginations, like yours truly. Don't like that. Don't like that. I mean, it's not like. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's not the. What's the word I'm looking for? It's fun, depending on your definition of fun. Like, I've always been fascinated by mirrors. It's like genuinely read a lot of work and books and done a lot of academic research into the histories societally we have with our fascination of portraiture, reflection, and mirrors. It was like very much it's very much a fascination of me, of mine. In some description, a lot of my things I read come back to it. I might try this next time it's 3 a.m. Just be aware that, like, you know, it's ooky spooky. I mean, doesn't everything fascinate you, Jets? Yeah, that's true. Jets, you look at the mirror at 3 a.m. and see a VTuber model? Yes. But sorry, we were meant to be talking about plans for the rest of the year. Damn, that cappuccino looks so good, but it's too late for me to drink coffee. Enjoy yourself a little decaf. I've been into decaf recently, mainly only with hot chocolates though. Fascinated by everything, a little bit of everything, all of the time. A little bit of everything, all of the time. Do you have anything planned for the 1-year anniversary of Season 3D? It's in 21 days. Not specifically. I think what's going to happen is the classic thing where I combine together my streaming anniversary and my birthday into a big old event in September, which is what I'm currently working on. A lot of projects I can't talk about for. So I have been working on art, ideas, obviously law stuff, website dev, stuff that was put on the back burner, unfortunately, due to my moving and my physical mental health stuff that I went through at the start of this year. It was just kind of difficult for me to find the ability to focus on projects, and things have been very busy with help Vivi with moving, and then like there's other stuff going on, and so I'm really happy in the next few months. That's kind of like, yeah, the plan for the next few months is finally be able to have the time during the weeks. Actually, like, take a day off each week. That's not going to a doctor's. That's not going and doing something social or helping someone with something. A day off in the week where I'm able to actually work on the art that I need to do for these projects. Like, I actually have artwork that I need to work on that is only going to get done if I have a day where I sit down, I spend the whole day sitting from my tablet, and I'm actually able to work on projects. Where it's not like, okay, I have to go do this or go to this doctor's appointment or X, Y, and Z. And I have been chipping away with it a little bit after streams, but just dedicated like days of digital art is going to be very important. I'm looking forward to that. So in the coming months, that's going to be a kind of thing that's happening. And also, there's other cool stuff I can't talk about yet, but by the end of the week, you guys will understand probably, as well as hopefully this month, I would like to finally do the interview with Mech Mum. I really want to do that. I think in the next week or so, I'll be putting out a form for you guys to finally be able to ask questions of Mech Mum, because Mech Mum's moving down, so she's gonna be local. So I'm gonna be able to drag Mech Mum over to the facility and finally do the Mech Mum interview. That's gonna be a thing. That's another thing of the other artwork I need to do. I need to do the artwork for Mech Mum so I can do the Mech Mum interview. So the questionnaire form will be dropping soon for you guys to be able to ask her questions about, you know, what I was like as a kid, anything really. Spit Oven, thank you so much for 25 months of support. I know you guys are going to ask if she's single. That will probably end up being one of the questions. Just try and keep it a little bit more interesting in that as well. Like, genuinely, this is the one time you guys will ever have to ask Mech Mum questions and do a Mech Mum interview. So please, like keep them interesting, really, as much as you want to. Inquiring back, so no, like I don't know what kind of questions you want from Mech Mum, but I don't know, keep them interesting, I guess. I have to think about what to ask. What's your squat? Yeah, you can ask Mech Mum how much she lifts. You absolutely can. That kind of stuff would be really interesting. Um, um, what's your opinion on your child hanging out with women of your age? That's, first of all, Mech Mum would be chill with that. Second of all, that's not what the case is. And third of all, once again, thank you, Spit Oven, for 25 months of support. Thank you. What's it like being a mum of a mech? Yeah, exactly. You can ask questions of like what she thinks about streaming and what she thinks about the chat. You can ask her what she thinks about the jetpack plushie. All the kind of stuff. Will she get a second bus? All of these questions and more you can ask her. Can we call her mummy? If you want to ask her the range stuff, you can. I will be selective. I'll probably include a few of the goofy questions here and there, but I generally hope you guys have some interesting kind of inquiries about her and how she feels about me streaming and all the rest of it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cute are we? Yes, you can ask her that question. We need a clear marker Mech Mum stream. Probably won't ever have Mech Mum on stream, but this will end up being a video on the YouTube channel. This will end up being a video on the YouTube channel, pre-recorded. It'll be pre-recorded interview, and then maybe in the future, we'll see how it goes. She'll be on stream. We can ask questions. It's not guaranteed to respond. Exactly. The questions form will be open. I will obviously not be... Like, obviously I'll be including the questions that are genuinely, I think, will get the best answer from her. Any other clubs outside of Shine? Actually, yes. Next week I will be taking part in Issa's subathon. And there will be another form that's going up in the Discord as well with the Mech Mum form. There'll be another form going up that's about I'm being involved in Issa's Family Feud stream, and so you guys will have to fill out questions because I believe they relate to the communities. It's going to be Family Feud but with community responses. So instead of being like any random response, it's going to be based on what the communities respond with. So I'll be putting the form out for you guys to fill out in the Discord if you'd like to, for the Family Feud stream, which will be happening on Issa's channel for her subathon, which I'll be involved in. So that's going to go up. Family Feud form, that's happening in the coming weeks. And then Mech Mum form will be going up, and that will be happening in the coming months. Like by the end of the month, I would maybe like to have, or next month, the Mech Mum interview finally done and keep working on other stuff. That sounds great, but I can see where it will go. We'll have to see. I'm really looking forward to being part of Issa's subathon event. Coffee or green tea? I have just finished my coffee, actually. I have just finished it up. The chaos will reign. Also, my apologies. I've asked you about how you'd go in the 5 years future thing. Don't apologize. I was meant to answer the question at Sabernottech, and I've gotten really distracted. That is exactly what we were meant to be talking about, and I'm just getting so distracted. Fuck. 5 years. Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. Like I know where I'm at for the rest of this year. Like I basically have my month planned out, month to month planned out for the rest of the year with collabs and games we're going to be playing and events and all the rest of the things and commissions I need to make and things I need to get organized. Like I've got this year planned out, but 5 years, I don't know. I mean, I hope I'll still be streaming. I hope you guys will still be watching. I hope we'll probably finally finish the Deus Ex series. We'll probably finally finish the Stalker series. Hopefully there's even more games that have come out then that we've checked out. Objectives open, it's not planned. It's okay if you decide not to do it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like I can't believe I've been streaming almost for this long. Scorn, more Scorn. Oh yeah, hopefully we finish Ace Combat and Bloodborne and all the rest of it. I don't, weirdly enough, I don't plan for things to be changing that drastically in 5 years. You know what I mean? I hope that Jets will be the president of the VTuber Industries in 5 years. Like things, okay, if we're going to be real here for a second, things I would like to achieve in the coming years as a streamer and as a VTuber and as a person who cares about streaming and VTubing is I would like to start to set myself up in a position where I can help younger VTubers, and I would like to open up avenues for more collaborations with game companies and merch companies and places and stuff where VTubers haven't had the chance to interact. Put myself out there as at like events to be able to like not represent, but like talk to people about having them want to work with VTubers, and if possible, like people like I know Vishion's very casual and it is just like a friends group, but in the coming years and as however that unfolds, I would be very proud if I was able to help keep building up Vishion as a space where people could come to me or the fellow members of the team with ideas for projects and we would be able to support them with it. Like if people, I would like to be able to create a space where I'm able to take the support that you guys have given me, because you guys are so supportive and so generous, and allow me to do what I've done and allow me to support and try and challenge myself. I'd love to take all that support and then be able to share it with more people, because I'm very understanding of like how much work goes into wanting to work on projects and how much time and energy it does. And if I could help people, I totally would. Have fun browsing followers I like and find them, helps give recommendations. Yeah, exactly. Like more showcase stuff opportunities would be great. Vashine emote when? I'm surprised we don't have a Vashine BTTV emote. We really should add that. We really should. Okay, but like imagine you get some big financial partnership and you have the ability to make your own corporate group. I don't know if I'm qualified to do that, but maybe if I talk to the right people who would be, you know what I mean? Like I would rather like I'm the next Yago. Neither are many people running groups on Mega LOL. Trust me, the people who are qualified really are not. Give me a few years. Give me a Jago. Give me a few years to cook. Qualifications, breathing. Give me a few years to cook. Okay, I'm still sorting my own shit out personally. But I am open to the idea of being in a position where I can help my fellow streamer. If possible, that'd be really fucking sick. Am I gonna be able to do that? I don't know. Is that incredibly ambitious of a 5 years plan? Possibly. But why not be ambitious? You know, the worst that can happen is you get like halfway there. Classic, in a few years, both Yago and Sakuna are under my Aussie thumb. Yeah, exactly. You could be the godfather of Australian VTubing. Who knows? Who knows? I just want to help. I just want to... When people have really cool ideas, I want them to have it happen, you know? and if I'm able to put myself in a position where I'm actually able to help people have it happen, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You know, that's a bit ambitious, but that's my maybe insane 5-year idea. That's all good. Take care of yourself, Bav. Thank you for hanging out. Invest in the indie coin. Yeah, I don't know. Did Marco and you start at the same time 4 years ago? Yeah, but around the similar time. Me, Marco, Hanya have been streaming for about 4 years. I think Cleo about 3 years. Yeah, we've all been doing for Cheyenne now for 2 years. So I don't know. I'm really just open-minded. I'm really open-minded and just want to see how things go. You know. I'm fortunate to have things have come this far, and if I can allow people to be able to do the things that are cool, I think that'd be cool. I don't know what I'm saying. My brain is completely turning to sludge all of a sudden. I'm not very good at business. I'm not very smart. I don't think I could actually be business lady. I just want people to do cool things. Honestly, it's what's cool to me. Anyway, I've realized, boys, my brain's kind of turning to sludge right now. We might have to have this be a short episode of the pod, honestly. Like a coach, I don't know if I could be like a coach. I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And the more I think about it, it's kind of becoming a little overwhelming. At the moment, I'm just taking things 1 month at a time, genuinely. I think that's the way you have to do with streamers. With streamers or streaming, because it is constantly changing. You can't really lock yourself into how it's going to be, because you've got no idea. Like, some crazy technology could appear next month that's going to change everything. And so I just try and stay positive and open-minded, and most importantly supportive of myself and others who I also respect, and just hope that whatever happens in the world, I can fit into it and keep doing this with you all. Otherwise, I feel like it can stress me out, genuinely. Yeah. I did get rough sleep. I did go really rough sleep. I think that's what's happening. I think my rough sleep is catching up to me a little bit, boys. Yeah, you're just gonna go to the future with your best foot forward, absolutely. I'm kind of a... what's what I'm looking for here? I think the reason why I'm getting a little bit stressed out at the thought of like a 5-year plan and trying to stably work something out is that innately, boys, not come from an environment where things have been necessarily stable. So the possibility of being in a position where I'm able to actually plan something with a 5-year mentality and plan is kind of actually terrifyingly foreign to me. So so it's actually kind of trying to consider like 5 years from now is almost anxiety inducing, because I'm like, I don't know, that's not, I've moved homes every year. What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean 5-year plan? So I think for me at least, like, just knowing this year and next year is enough for me to be like, all right, we'll do some cool shit. We'll do some cool shit. Like, I don't know what it is gonna be, but it's gonna be some cool shit, honestly. Yeah, the 5-year questions always asked in job interviews, and it freaks me out. Those bastards. 5 years? You mean 5 months? Exactly. You cross that bridge when you come to it. You don't even know what that bridge looks like. Yeah. As long as you're having fun. Yes, that's kind of the case for me. And as long as we're making goofy stuff, that's important. The end of the day is today. Around normally 10:30. In an interview, you lie your ass off to get the position. I'm very fortunate I've never had to have like a business interview. All my interviews have been like for crappy jobs like hospitality where they're like, oh, you're young and we can underpay you as a worker. Yeah, you got the job. You'll be there on time. Yeah, get an apron, go behind the kitchen. Like, that's like most of my interviews I've had to deal with. Although, actually, recently, and I can't talk about it. I mean, I've had like interviews for VTuber stuff. I have done that before. Like, recently I've had different kind of interviews for like teams or business stuff, like VTuber talking to business stuff, and that's been different. And that's more like casual. That's more like talking to people, and like that's very recent and very surreal to me about like, how can we work together in this quarter to make this thing happen and be available for this opportunity? And I'm like, whoa, I'm not professional, but I'm pretending I am. Oh Lord, I'm pretending. The amount that I am faking it till I make it is astounding. Yeah, no, it is very important to live in the present. That's why they call it the present, because it's a gift. But yeah, I mean, we might keep it really short for today's pod episode. I kind of don't know if we really got to talk what we wanted to talk about. Because unfortunately, I've realized there are things I do want to talk about with planning for the coming year that I actually can't talk about yet. It kind of feels like the similar mentality of what it was before Cleo was going to join FaZe. Like, we knew about that for so long. And it was one of those things where we'd be in voice chats and Discord talking about it and planning it out, but we couldn't mention a single thing. And I feel like I got so overwhelmed and pent up with the stress of it. Like, after the move and then health struggles and then having to keep that all so quiet and no one was happening, that's when I kind of hit that wall. And I had to take the entire week off right before she debuted, because it was just like so much going on. And it's quite weirdly difficult to then come into stream and be like, I can't talk about this. But just as joining FaZe, no, never. I'm not gonna join FaZe. I respect FaZe and Sakana, and I respect all the FaZe talents, and I respect Cleo. But if I had the opportunity, not saying I did, not saying anything, if I did maybe have had the opportunity a very long time ago, it's not something that's not something that I feel like I'm the best fit for. So it's kind of, but it has been very exciting to see, and has been a lot to be, what's what I'm looking for, privy to, I don't know, like see unfold. And it's been really cool. But it was that kind of thing of not being able to talk about it for so long was emotionally quite a bit. And it has been like a transition. It has been a transition to get used to seeing, it's been interesting wanting to be like, hey, can I play this? Are you available to do this thing together? And there has been a shift where it's like, well, people just can't be available for things because they've got other obligations, and you're really happy for them. But it's always going to be a little bit like never the same as it was beforehand. And that's just life though. Like that's just how friendships are. Friends join different jobs and different friend groups, and then they end up hanging out with different people because they've got other things they have to do. And you can be like, you can be a little bit like, it was really fun when we could always do stuff together. But at the end of the day, that's a little bit of a selfish mentality, because I'm not going to be a person who's like, no, you have to limit yourself just because I want us to be able to hang out together forever. Because that's not healthy. It's not healthy. But it has been a shift of a dynamic that's taken a little bit of getting used to. And in some way, it's like with having, you know, myself be open to people trying and like going and having new connections, it's also opened myself up to hanging out with new people and collabing with different people as well myself and making new connections in my own way. It's like when your buddy gets a promotion and they can't game on the weekends anymore. Exactly. It's exactly like that. As long as you still like, exactly, as long as we still like friends and talk in the Discord and everything like that, and it's all still casual. Because the thing is, like, you're still friends with the person, they've got other things they need to do, which makes a lot of sense. It feels like your bro got a new job on a different shift and you're happy for them, but the schedules don't align anymore. Yeah, exactly. So it's been interesting, and it's been a shift, and it's going to be a thing that becomes just part of the way it is going forward, you know. And so I'm opening my self up to cool stuff as well. Do you like being in a contract? No, I'm very much open to free spirit. It's not about kicking the ladder. Nope, not at all. But anyway, I do feel my brain. You sound so much more mature and advanced than I was my 20s. Thank you. I don't know. I try my best. I feel like a fool. I personally feel like a fool, and like I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why I get so overwhelmed when you guys like 5-year plan. And I'm like, fuck if I know. Like, I don't know. Fucking work it out. Fuck around and find out, man. I don't know. Just hope. Just hope I'm not making irreversibly horrible choices. Just really crossing my fingers and my toes that I'm not way even more stupid than I already think I am. You know? Like 5-year plan, just don't walk out into oncoming traffic. Like seriously, that's kind of the plan. Like try to not. 5-year plan, being 3 years older. That's kind of where I am. Honestly, I don't know. Like I talk about a lot of bullshit, but fundamentally, in my core, despite the fact that I might sound put together or like I've kind of got things going on, I've got no fucking idea what I'm doing. I am just hoping. I really am. Just genuinely like hoping maybe it's kind of okay. 5-year plan, it being 2030. Yeah, exactly. Nobody does. None of us do. I think that's the important thing more than anything, is realizing just like how unconfused, like I'm unsure you feel, is the way other people feel. And that I think is the best you can do. But you guys do want, except the fact that you don't know what you're doing is more important than knowing what you're doing. Yep. Yep, exactly. Now, you guys did want a song suggestion. Now, I have been listening? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I've been listening to a little bit of jazz again. A little bit of bossa nova. And I kind of found myself recently listening to 2 different artists. We can get like 2 different artists maybe. I found myself listening to Walter Wanderley. 2 very different decades. I found myself listening to quite a bit. Rainforest from 1966. Let me play this. Snip. I've been listening to this quite a bit. Let me grab the snipping tool for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is. File, save. I've been listening to this album quite a bit. This is my Jet's easy listening recommendation. It's Rainforest. the song Rain by Walter Wanderley. They also have another really good album called A Certain Smile, A Certain Sadness. This album here is an instrumental album. Well, duh. But the Certain Smile, Certain Sadness does have like lyrics in it, and that's also quite good. That's also quite enjoyable. Really lovely harmonies, really good, easy listening kind of things. Then what else have I been listening to? I've also been listening to where's my recent listens to? I did listen to the Smiths. I've also been listening to Icebrink as well, and they're a 2020. They got their 2020 album Carpet Cocoon. I've really been enjoying this one. Is that your favorite genre? No, I think like shoegaze, math rocky stuff is my favorite genres of all time, but I do enjoy instrumentals. So there's this song, and then there's also this song, which is also easy listening, which I like. This album by Icebrink, called Carpet Cocoon, released in 2020. Really good. Really good. Kind of like guitar. I don't know, like folky. Like it's described as library music. I do know Giraffes. I do. Yeah. I'm just like really currently into easy listening instrumentals. These are my current suggestions. So, boys, with that, we should find someone to raid. All right, who's online? Who's online? Thank you guys for hanging out to this episode of the pod. I'm glad I could suggest some tunes to you this morning, and we could talk a little bit about how the year has been and about how the year's gonna be. I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. I'll be honest for a second, actually. I feel like I didn't get to actually say what I was hoping to say today. I'll be honest, the start of this year, despite having some incredibly fun streams with you all, behind the scenes wasn't exactly easy for me. I had to challenge myself physically and mentally after the move in regards of my health, and force myself to put myself in a better place where I could get better, because I wasn't in a condition where I was taking appropriate care of myself, and so, and it takes a lot to challenge that. So I want to thank you guys for this start of this year so far, for continue to be here and watch the streams and be really understanding about my being a bit everywhere, about having to take some time away a few days, about having to have so many days away for doctor's appointments that I've had to have, and being a little bit more scatterbrained and low energy, and that has taken the time to get to where I currently am over this year of working really hard on myself behind the scenes, and now feeling a lot more confident and comfortable and energetic. Like, I genuinely needed to recuperate my health. Like, I was not physically in a good position. I had to, really had to physically recuperate, and I'm now so much physically and mentally stronger than I was at the start of this year. It's like night and day how much healthier I am in both capacities, physically and mentally. And so yes, I wanted to say thank you about that. About being there and being understanding. As a community, you guys genuinely are great. Like, you tell me off for not taking care of myself instead of saying, "Ooh, streamer needs to take time off." You guys are like, "No, fuck you, take time off." And so I'm very fortunate to have a community that is like that, and it is so understanding. I also want to say, also thank you for letting me take time for the move. It's another thing. I really appreciate it. You're doing us a service by being the best extent you can. That is the truth. And I think I also need to extend the thanks towards that sentiment. Thank you for allowing me to be a streamer. And allowing to be so understanding this year. I've joked a lot about streaming being the catalyst for forcing me to become better. I've talked about struggling with a certain ability, like certain hang-ups I have as a person, and certain inabilities to be considerate of myself, value myself, feel like my being is something worth taking care of. And I want you to know that physically and mentally, with how much I appreciate the stream, it is such a positive catalyst for me to get better, because it allows me to be able to do this to a level which I'm able to be here for long streams and have energy and be excitable and be social and go out and do things so I can come back and have a wonderful time hanging out with all of you. So I look forward to doing more of that in the coming months this year, now that I'm doing a lot better. So thank you all. I hope that was not too rambly. I just kind of wanted to say that, and I didn't want to really say that at the start of like a random video game stream. I wanted to have a little corner today at the end of the pod to just like be a bit honest, maybe embarrassingly so, honest about, just, it has been a lot, but thank you for being patient with it. Because hopefully it means that now that I've passed this, in not only just the coming year, but in the coming years, because I've learned so much and grown so much in this start of 2025, I think it's really been like super important. So thank you guys for being here through that. Thank you. And it's a reminder that mental health stuff and physical health stuff are so deeply entwined. And if you ever are feeling like you can feel yourself allowing yourself to get to a point of deterioration, it isn't the end, and you can take steps to slowly build yourself back up to a whole, strong being. So don't give up. Now, I'll start crying for saying more things like that. Let's find someone to read. Barry's online. We're gonna read Berrybug. We're gonna read Berrybug. Berrybug's great. Well said. I don't know. I'm not really the most eloquent, but hopefully. Hopefully. We're gonna read the bug. I'm in my 20s. I've got a lot to learn. But I just want to keep being my best, so we can keep hanging out. I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. Tomorrow is gonna probably be a stream. Schedule will go up tonight. Question form for the Family Feud thing will go up tonight. As well as maybe the question form for Mech interview will go up tonight. But I will see you all later. Have an amazing, a wonderful, a brilliant, and a lovely. And until next time, Jetpack, just in case I don't get to see you next time, that's all good, because at least this time I had to say Jetpack jetting out. I'm back in D&D and I missed it. Take care, Weezers. Go be lovely to Berrybug. Bye-bye. Take very good care. Bye-bye. It was a nice little pod chatting with you all. I'm glad I got to, even if it was a bit cringe, be a bit open and sentimental about how the year has been so far for me. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. Because even though it was a little bit of a fight to get better, it was, now that we've passed, I feel like I've gotten so much past it that it's going to be really good. Trust me, boys. Big things coming. Not even just in the next month, but in the next few weeks. You boys are not ready. There's like, there is something I wish I could tell you fuckers right now, but like, it's gonna blow your mind. But wait, big things coming. Just, you'll see. You'll see. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Be lovely. Listen to some atmospherical instrumental music. Bye bye. Jeff acting out. Thank you for hanging out with the pod. I've been your host, Jean Faymas. Thank you for being here. This today's episode of the Unpacking Pod. Bonus episode. Bye.
This has been a Cynapse Inc. broadcast.
Hello? What was that? The song?
Cynapse
Hello?
Inc. linking you with a safer tomorrow.
That's great.